Dear guest colleagues, with this exhibition we are going to mark the coming together of the Tropen Museum or the KIT collection, Heritage collection, the KITLV collection and the Leiden University collection. It's already a couple of times commemorated. I think it's important, and it's already said, that all of these institutes have a long track record as it comes to working on Indonesia and with Indonesia. The KITLV, I think, I'm from KITLV, I think it speaks for itself. It was the center where people had to come if they wanted to study Indonesia. The Tropical Institute from Amsterdam is renowned for its archives, its maps, and of course its objects who are still in the museum and that you can see in Amsterdam and now in the Museum of World Cultures also in Leiden. And then of course the Leiden University has a long track record during the colonial era as one of the important places where colonial administrators were educated. But it was also the home of many Indonesian students. It's already said in our meeting in the Lipsius building. Many Indonesian students, which resulted in many dissertations, as you will see also in the exhibition, and it's still going on. There are new dissertations coming up, but it also resulted in a lively and dynamic Indonesian student organizations, the Perhimpunan Indonesia. They were active during the Second World War in the resistance against the Germans. And when the Second World War ended, they led the bias, the fundaments for the foreign policy of the new Republic Indonesia. So there is a very important connection to the Leiden University. And then of course the Leiden University, it derives its international fame also among others from Nobel Prize winners, but also from two very important Indonesianists, Van Vollenhoven, the lawyer, and the Arabist and Islam expert Snoeker Gronje, which you will find all over the place, I think. When we were asked, we, and it's me, together with Chef Schaaps and Doris Jedamski and later on Lisbeth Ouwehand, to organize an exhibition to mark this merging of the collections, we were confronted with a very complex challenge. How to incorporate all parts of these collections? Should we do something chronologically with Indonesia and the Netherlands? Should we show the books? But to be honest, I think books are boring to look at. There may be some aesthetical, beautiful books, but what do they tell us about the newly created and internationally unique and vast collection on Indonesia? Until we realized that the proof is in the pudding. The meaning of the collection, its content, and the importance can best be shown through the eyes of the user, the researcher. So we selected 7 researchers through whose eyes we wanted to shed light on the collections, and you will find them in the exhibition. And we didn't do this randomly. We wanted to show different objects, media, carriers. Kurt already mentioned a lot of them. We also wanted to show the tradition of Indonesian research in Leiden. And we wanted to show how this is developing, new ones. We wanted to show how research meets collections and the other way around. And therefore, the exhibition shows much, much more than only what's there in the collection. And all these layers, they are showing what a colleague of mine, Jessica Reutemann, called it's an Indonesian intersection. It's a crossroad, it's a junction. Everything is coming there together. If you go to the exhibition, what you will find? You will find an audiovisual project, recording daily life, introducing new ways of doing research, but at the same time adding new materials to the collection, audiovisual recordings, which is, I think, it's a challenge for researchers and the library to take this on to the future. You will see research on modern Indonesia, showing that researchers not only use libraries, but they also contribute to libraries because they produce their books and their research results. You will see the research on art and material culture, working with various old and also new resources. New resources, among which a lot of brochures from Jakarta, the Indonesian archaeological organizations, collected by the KITLV Jakarta. It shows the importance of that that direct link to Indonesia of this new Asia library. And it shows how the tradition of archaeology in Leiden is continuing by this specific kind of research. The linguistic research, we didn't choose to show the Javanese or the Indonesian research, but we show the smaller areas in Timor, in the eastern part of Indonesia, so we could show you how the young researchers now are using the notebooks from, for example, Jocelyn de Jongenold, former anthropologist at the Leiden University. We have a display in which we show how the study of law is connected with environmental issues, when it comes to commodities like biofuel. It's a very contemporary issue, I think, and a very important issue for the future. And especially at that display, you will see a kind of barcode, QR code that it's called, and you can photograph this QR code, and you will go direct to a publication produced by a project that's on that display. And I think it's difficult to show in an exhibition, but it's at least a link, and it's one of the futures of the library. And I think the same goes for another display, Modern Sound, where pop culture is showed, and that's enriching the collection of the Asia Library with DVDs, CDs, old vinyl albums, paper music. And then finally, you will find that the Leiden research still is doing a lot of work on Islam studies like Snoeker Vanje did. But we go further. We will show you that we're doing more sexy kind of research subjects like female Islamic leadership. So these are 7 chosen researchers. We only use their eyes to shed light on the collection. We wanted to show every researcher who is working with Indonesia in Leiden, but we needed about 67 displays. So what we did as a contribute to the people who are not the one of the 7 chosen, there will be a portrait in a loop that you can see everybody is working on Indonesia in the past and the present Indonesia in this loop. So every researcher will be there. I think this exhibition shows the exciting and productive relationship between research and the Indonesia collections. And they are now brought together in the Leiden University Asia Library. And it is like, I want to borrow a strategy of Ibu Retno, the ambassador of Indonesia, who has introduced the culinary diplomacy for the Netherlands. I think if you have a metaphor, this exhibition is like kue lapis or spekkoek. All the different layers are baked one by one and are melted into one kue. And I'm sure, and it's based on old traditional recipes. And I'm sure that as soon as if you've taken a bite of this spekkoek, this exhibition, and you grasp the flavor of what's there, the Indonesian spices, and I'm sure when you are nibbling from this exhibition, you want to have more. You want to know more about Indonesian research in Leiden, and surely you want to know more what's there in this library and all these beautiful collections.